Welcome to All About Bankruptcy.
Hey everybody, welcome back to an all-new episode of All About Bankruptcy with Luke Homen, Oklahoma bankruptcy attorney, and he's the president of Convenient Bankruptcy. I am your host, Mike Leon. Luke here has been practicing law since 2008. He's been voted the best bankruptcy attorney in Oklahoma by the Oklahoman in the Reader's Choice Awards, and he's been helping countless Oklahomans stop wage garnishment and creditor harassment and find real financial freedom. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at whether you should file bankruptcy in Oklahoma City or in Tulsa. The process may be similar, but there are a few differences that can make an impact on your case, and Luke is going to explain it all in just a second. So, Luke, good to see you first and foremost. Most people, they think bankruptcy is the same everywhere throughout the state. Why does it matter whether someone files in Oklahoma City versus in Tulsa?
Yeah, thanks for having me back. I'm glad to be here. This is something that's changed a lot over time. Historically, the first difference is the attorney would go down to the courthouse and file papers. We don't do that anymore. We have electronic filing. The next difference is that the client and the attorney would go down to the courthouse in person for their court hearing. We don't do that either. So everything's electronic. So in terms of the filing and the court appearance, that's fundamentally different than it was even 5 years ago. But the biggest difference here is every case is administered by a different judge, a different court clerk, a different trustee, and these are people. And so your attorney needs to understand the differences in each different setting and how that could affect your case.
Can you explain for our audience a little bit how the court system is divided in Oklahoma when it comes to bankruptcy cases?
Yeah. So the first thing you need to know is that we're filing at the federal courthouse, not at your county courthouse. So there's 3 federal courthouses in the state that we file your bankruptcies at: Oklahoma City, Tulsa, and Muskogee. There's a map, and it basically says if you live in this county, you match up to this federal courthouse. And so 3 federal courthouses, not the county, and it's based on where you live.
Yeah. Are there differences in how cases are assigned to judges or trustees depending upon which district you file in?
Yeah, so let's start with judges. This is something that is going to change over time. Right now, we have 2 judges in the Western District, and in the Eastern District and the Northern District, we have the same judge. Now, let me translate that for you. The Western District is Oklahoma City, the Northern District is Tulsa, the Eastern District is Muskogee. So our judge is either going to be one of 2 ladies in Oklahoma City, or if we're in Tulsa or Muskogee, we're going to get Judge Paul Thomas, the same judge in either of those courthouses. He's doing double duty right now.
Hmm. And have you noticed any differences in how the hearings are scheduled or handled between the 2 different courts?
Oh, yeah, it's a huge difference. Each courthouse has different days that they schedule hearings on. And then our meeting of the creditors in front of trustees, those are going to be on different days and times depending on which courthouse we file in.
Speaking of filing, everyone associates filing with fees. So tell us about the course, the cost, excuse me, in both of these courts. Do they differ between Oklahoma City and Tulsa?
No, it's actually the same filing fee everywhere in the state. That's all standardized.
Oh, good. And what are the differences? We mentioned this in a previous episode, but the differences between Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 cases and how they're handled across the districts.
All right. So in a Chapter 7, we are going to get assigned a panel trustee. In Western Oklahoma, that's a panel of about 5 different private attorneys. We randomly get assigned one of the 5. In the Tulsa area, there's a smaller panel of 3 or 4. We get randomly assigned one of those. In Muskogee, there's only 2 trustees, and that's for Chapter 7s. Now, in Chapter 13, there's only 1 trustee assigned to each different courthouse. In the Western District, we have Trustee Hardiman. In the North, we have Trustee Eck. In the East, we have Trustee Bonney. Each of these trustees is completely different process, different procedures, very different personalities. And so as you talk to your attorney, it's very important to understand the personality of your Chapter 13 trustee and the expectations which are going to be different from district to district.
So, can you share an example for us of a time when the location of the filing made a real difference for one of your clients?
Yeah, interesting story. I've had a client who filed in Eastern District Chapter 13, and then that case was not successful. And then they moved, and a couple years later, we filed a Western District Chapter 13, and it was successful. And there's a lot of reasons for that. It has to do with what the case costs, how the payments work, the personality of the trustees involved. And it's going to be different situation by situation. Not every Eastern District 13 is going to fail. But it really does make a difference, especially on the Chapter 13s. And I can also tell you on the Chapter 7s, because we get assigned a trustee from a panel, and these trustees are different. And as a regular bankruptcy practitioner, we're very familiar with all of these. We can predict the outcomes of your case, which may go differently depending on which part of the state you live in.
So, piggybacking on that, as we land the plane on this episode, Luke, for someone that's deciding where to file right now, what's the most important thing that they should understand about Oklahoma City versus Tulsa in the process?
Well, the most important thing that they need to understand is by and large, we're going to be filing in the place where you live. Your county is going to dictate what courthouse you file in. Now, there are exceptions to that. There's 4 different theories of venue. We can dive into that later. But for most people, we're going to be filing in the county, matching up with the courthouse where they live. And so it's more about, okay, how do things work with this particular trustee's office, with this particular set of local rules, with this particular judge, and how do we set those expectations and set ourselves up for success, knowing that we live in Tulsa as opposed to Oklahoma City.
Luke, thank you for the time and insights as always, my man. We truly appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely.
And thank you to everybody out there listening to another installment of All About Bankruptcy. If you're considering bankruptcy right now in the state of Oklahoma, whether it be Oklahoma City or Tulsa, you want to know what to expect, do me a favor, visit convenientbankruptcy.com to schedule a free consultation today with Luke and the team. With the right plan, you can move forward with clarity and peace of mind. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a review or comment, or share this episode with someone who may need to hear it. As always, I'm Mike Leon. We'll see everybody next time.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.